That's a great question. So we need to find a balance, right, for the teams to be able to deal with different tasks and different skills that they need in a way that is sustainable for them, right? And just like people are not all the same, teams are not all the same. So what works for some teams might not work for others. And so it can be that there are some teams where you have people who are expert in some of those tasks, some of those areas, and others do other tasks. Other teams, maybe you have most people can do everything. It's essentially giving the autonomy and the ability for teams to decide how we're going to deal with this challenge, which is a challenge that you have so many different types of tasks and skills that you need in a cross-functional team. And the other thing I would say is to keep cognitive load in check. Be aware there's limits to what is the team capacity to deal with all this, and have some way, that's one of my favorite topics, to keep measuring or assessing cognitive load of teams, to be careful when you're going overboard and the team is really overloaded, because that actually then ends up with people feeling burned out. There are statistics that 1 out of 2 people feel burnout in the IT industry. So we need to do a better job to address that and balance those needs. I think it's a great conference, and there are different topics being covered. I think that's always good to give people different perspectives. For me personally, was also the fact that I could talk to a lot of people here are in developer roles. I've been a developer as well, and I know how much stress you can accumulate, how much people tend to get burnout. And so I wanted to talk to them about team cognitive load. How can we, if we have a better understanding how it works, what can we do about it? How can we measure and then take initiatives to actually reduce the load on the team? So that was the main reason for me. It was very good. A lot of people wanted to chat afterwards, and I think what's happening, sort of broadly speaking, in industry is that more and more people are realizing, okay, we have technical systems, we have the software and we all the technology, but there's also the social system. So the way that we are organized, how teams interact, obviously the culture of the organizations as well plays a big role. And the two things are interconnected. If you don't have a good social system, then technical system will suffer. And the other way around to some extent. If you don't have the right tools and technology, people will also suffer. And I think more and more people are realizing that, and are talking about socio-technical systems, that we need to look at the two things together. They are connected, they're not isolated. And so I think a lot of the questions, even for people who are more technical, is just realizing, yes, now I understand better why organizing in this way is causing some type of pain, or having responsibilities in certain way to assign to the teams it can be painful. I think there are a lot more than 3 reasons, but for me it's learning also from the people who attend. Obviously there's the networking aspect, but just getting a feel for like different perspectives. So when I chat to people at these events, always get new insights. So for me it's also a learning experience. And finally also teaching a bit, or just sharing what I've learned myself. But I think all of us can share our experiences. And yes, this kind of events are really good for people to even just, sometimes you find out that someone else in some other organization has very similar problem to yours. Maybe you don't have a solution yet, but you feel like, okay, I'm not alone, or we're not the only ones with this problem. So it's really good.